Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Podchaser, TE Live, iTunes, TuneIn, Rumble, and more. I'm Dr. Marissa, your host, producer of this show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk, no slap talk, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests to that end. Some of them you may recognize their names. Half of the cast of characters from Happy Days, Ralph Malph's been on, and he and his wife are going to come on and help me celebrate my 9 years on the air, as well as individuals who are humanitarians, Rick O'Berry, the Cove, who was the trainer for Flipper, to Frederick from the Rwandan genocide, who had his hands cut off by the rebels, and he came on to talk about forgiveness and healing. So I have a very wide range over these last 520 consecutive weeks on the air. And if you missed any of those shows that I just mentioned, please go free subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that is where actually you can interact with me right now. It is streaming live on YouTube as well as Facebook, because I want to interact with you. And you can put your comments in the chat. And today I actually even put a link if you'd like to come, because we're talking about stress relief. It is April Stress Awareness Month. And one of my favorite jokes about that is stress is when you wake up screaming and then realize you were not even asleep in the first place. So stress is also one of those things. I put the comment, let's see, where did I put that? I think 85% of all diagnoses for stress come from doctors. That's, the ailments that you're feeling, the physical ailments that you're feeling. 85% of diagnoses are attributed to stress. So that's what we're talking about today. So if you have any stress tips, I'm happy for you to come on and say what works for you, as well as I will be playing an answer from a caller who's also experiencing all of the symptoms of stress. So that's what today's show is about. And before we get started with that, y'all know that one of the Happy 88 tools that I use to help keep you starting the day in the most positive way, which will ward off stress, especially if you create the habit of not allowing stress. Somebody just gave me a hug emoji. Thank you. Please put your name in the comments too, so I can give you a shout out. So one of the things that we do that stresses us out first thing in the morning is this. You start doing this, right? You pick up, you see who liked your post, who didn't like your post, what your friends are posting about, the ads or the news headlines that are almost always negative, almost always I say there's three things that usually come on in a news report. Either some natural disaster tragedy somewhere in the world, and we're going to have it somewhere, no thanks to climate change, even if you don't believe in it, to something about government corruption, and 3, the worst part of someone's actions. So someone's going to do someone wrong, killing, stealing, murder, all of those 3 themes, I guarantee you will be on your news feed. So that's usually the way people start their day. And it's not surprising that the day starts going downhill because you've automatically focused on negative things. Does that make sense? When you focus on negative things, it will grow bigger. Whatever you focus on grows bigger. So the good news is the law of attraction, which that is from Abraham Hicks. If you focus on things that are good, that also grows bigger. So the tool that I created from that law, and the law of attraction works whether you believe in it or not, like gravity. I don't have to teach you that if you jump off a cliff, you're going to, fall and hurt yourself. The law of attraction says whatever you pay attention to grows bigger. So I'm going to use the law to help us start the day in the most positive way by asking you to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So that's for those people who are not familiar with it. And I'm going to just rattle off 8 specific things, because that's my discipline in the morning before I even go brush my teeth. What 8 things am I specifically grateful for that sets my day at the top? So let's see. I'm grateful that I have solidified plans to get to go on an Adriatic cruise in October with my girlfriend of many decades. I'm ageless, so I'm not going to say I met her when I was modeling and spent some time in New York with her. And she's also an Abrahammer, so we're going to go and enjoy Greece, Corfu, and Greece, Montenegro, Croatia, and Italy. So that's 4 gratitudes right there, because those are 4 countries that I 3 of them are new and I love doing new things. The 5th gratitude is there. I got to brush my teeth this morning, and I like the feeling of a clean mouth, especially after the night before and morning breath. And then that's 5. Number 6 gratitude is that I have this platform for almost 9 years to splatter more hope and happiness on you. Number 7, I saw a bunch of hearts and likes from people that I love. And one of them was my speaking partner, Jessica Cox. Shout out to her, who's the first, I think she's traveling somewhere. I think she liked my TikTok. And I'm Dr. Marissa Happy 88 on TikTok, by the way, and Doc Balance on Instagram. If you are wanting more positive posts, that's where you go on the social media. Number 7, I'm grateful for Polly, my new sound engineer, who takes care of me on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And number 8, I'm grateful for technology that's going to allow me to have shows for you even while I'm away visiting my mom, who has Parkinson's. And so I'm going to Toronto for 2 weeks, but you'll have a brand new show every day, and I have some great guests that I'm pre-recording now. So there's 8 specific gratitudes that start me in a very positive way. I hope that you are doing your gratitude, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich with your friends around you, as well as writing them down. You can put them on your post. You can go to my page and do that, or do that here on the stream. Now, at the end of the day, I want you to go and put 8 specific things that you appreciate about yourself. And that takes care of the nighttime, so that you have a habit to replace the unconscious habit these days of going to sleep after maybe thinking about those things you didn't get done, or worrying about the state of affairs because of the news, or thinking about the things that someone did you wrong with. And that is a surefire way of not getting asleep. So instead, 8 specific things that you like about yourself. So 1, I appreciate that I have a pretty keen sense of fashion. That's my favorite creative expression. I have a keen sense of reading a room. I appreciate that. I have a big mouth so that I don't get nervous when I get in front of thousands of people to speak. I have a pretty good sense of, good people that I like to keep around me. I have a good sense of, problem solving in trying to come to solution and not staying in problem too long. I am good at getting really pissed off and then soothing myself out of it pretty fast so I don't attract any more negativity, pissed offness. Number 7, I appreciate that I can stay on the air for as long as I have. And then 8, I appreciate that I am working on my weight. And I started Valentine's Day, and I've lost 17 pounds, I think. Yeah, 17 pounds now, because I get up before the show and go and do the bike even when I don't feel like it. I do the gospel according to Nike and just do it. And then also watching, I've been trying to stay flour free. So I know that's going to be a question. How did you do it? And that's how I'm doing it. And I'm also working with Abraham Hicks' I Love My Body tape that I listen to, because it says that if I hate my body, which you've heard me say, that I really have a problem with looking at myself and loving what I see, and largely due to being called fat, ugly, and clumsy growing up, and then attracting more of that by marrying a man who would introduce me as obese to people around, and just really struggling with this. So I decided that I'm not going to struggle with this. And I've had several people on the show that have really given me some tools to work with, Marissa Peer being the last one. But, I've had Janine Roth on, who was Oprah's diet coach. So if you want to watch some of my past shows with people who are helping, there's many ways to lose weight, as there are many ways to be happy. So please use my past shows and free subscribe on my YouTube channel and just put in weight loss, and you'll have a plethora of shows and guests who have ideas on how to do that if that's something you're working on. So those are the 8 things that I appreciate about myself. There's your gratitude sandwich, taking the bite out of the gratitude sandwich. And I hope you join me in this life discipline or good life habit, because it will definitely lower your level of stress first thing in the morning and the last thing at night, so you can have a great day and you can have a good night's sleep. So that's the first tool that we've been using almost every day here on the show. I'm determined that you get to happiness 88% of the time. If you are not happy 88% of the time and you'd like to work with me, just go to drmarissa.life, and I've got plenty of ways to come and connect. There's a free orientation, Get Happy orientation, every last Wednesday of the month. So it's coming up on the 27th. Go to my website, drmarissa.life, and sign up as well. The good news is I'm teaching Tai Chi again on the beach, and we're going to go to break, and I'll play you the promo for that so that you can, if you're in Southern California, you get to join me on the beach, and we're going to do our moving meditation that promotes inner peace one breath at a time. So there's another great stress relief tool. And that's when we come back here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. the morning show. Please don't go away. We'll be right back on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through New Thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes. Body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢.
Be my partner, dance with me, just hold on. I will.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube channel, which, if you free subscribe, not only will you get the past 677 shows, yes, we're on number 678 today, as well as my red carpet playlist with interviews with very interesting people like Carol Baskin from Tiger Kings is the newest one, and the bailiff from Judge Judy, and then all the way back to Lieutenant Uhura, my wonderful interviews with best-selling authors Nicholas Spark, as well as the founder of UGG Boots, Brian Smith, and Halle Berry. I watched a really good movie yesterday on Netflix with her in it, The Call, and John Travolta, Quincy Jones, John Paul DeJoria, who I also have an interview of him at a Salvation Army event. Did you know he was homeless? And Salvation Army helped him, and he's a billionaire. He's the one behind Paul Mitchell hair care products and Patrons. So it's really wonderful and amazing, and I'm so grateful that I have this show where I get to meet and interview some very wonderful people. And when I say wonderful, it's not because they're celebrities, it's because they take their limelight and then shine it on areas that are less, that are temporarily in the dark. So that's what we're all about, is not focusing on the problem so much that we get eaten up by it, but always shining the light on the solution. So I also have shows for with solutions to homeless. If you missed my show with Doors of Change, helping homeless youth off of the streets in San Diego, go watch that one. There's a huge concert that I get to go to support that with 3 Dog Night, June 30th. And then my interview with Sharuz, who's doing a fabulous show at the Savant Theater on May 20th. I think there's still time, April 15th. The early bird runs out, so go to the link that I have on my social to go buy the tickets, and then use the promo code SHAH so that you get my Dr. Marissa discount for that. So plenty of things to do as we peek out from behind the pall of the pandemic for entertainment. Let's support our artists as well. You can work on your own stress relief by joining me on the beach every last Saturday now at 10 a.m. I'm going to be teaching my balanced Tai Chi Gong that you saw during the break. And it is a donation to my nonprofit of $20 to go. So it's not a lot. And we'll start up the community again. I used to do it with lots and lots of people, and then I went on tour. And so people have been asking me for like 8 months, when are you going to start classes again? So I'm starting classes. Amy, you heard it here. I'm starting classes every last Saturday of the month. So go to drmarissa.life and sign up there. All right, as promised, I have some stress relief tips that I shared with a caller who called in from Florida, and I'm going to share that with you now. So enjoy.
We'll just go ahead and get started. Are your feet on the ground? Your palms are up? And your eyes gently closed. I'm going to breathe in with you. Can you hear me? Dana? Are you there?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. We have 2 callers.
We've got these numbers on the line right now.
Connected with you. Are you ready, Dana?
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm ready.
Cool. Feet on the ground, palms up, eyes gently closed, taking a deep breath in through the nose. And releasing all the stories and the drama. And one more deep breath in. Connecting with me through chi, eternal energy. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And on a scale of 1 to 10, in the area of relationships, how would you currently rate your relationships in your life? 10 being fabulous and 1 being not so fabulous.
I would say 8 right now.
Okay, beautiful. And then on health and wholeness, same scale.
Oh, goodness. I would say probably about a 4.
Okay. And then job and career.
Again, about an 8.
Okay. So it looks like we're going to talk about health.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yeah. So beautiful. So why do you think the number's that low, or what is it that's keeping you from having a higher number there?
Right now, honestly, it's stress.
Okay.
I have a tendency to internalize my stress, and it comes out in, blisters in my mouth and things like that.
Well,
Yep.
The good news is you know what it is. The bad news is you know what it is. So the interesting statistic is that 85% of all doctors' visits are, the bottom line is the doctor said it is stress related. So I tell you this so you don't feel like you're alone.
No, I know I'm not.
Right. So now let's give you some balance tools. So the first one is just exactly what we did when we started. So the power of the breath, the power of chi, eternal energy, is it's kind of like it's like a reboot of your system. So it's as if you are cleaning out your cache. You're deleting your cookies. It is doing a soft reset. So I know people breathe and they're supposed to know how to breathe, but there's a habit that we all have called shallow breathing. So it's or we hold our breath. So
Right.
when you feel like you're getting stressed, so I'm guessing when you feel a little tight, when your head, you want to squint, when you feel a little hot because you're getting irritated, your skin kind of clenches a little bit and tightens up. Do any of those sound familiar?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so as soon as you feel that, and headache, okay, so by the time you've got a headache, you've probably already been feeling stressed for at least a minute, because headaches are not sudden. So there's a build up to the pressure that I want you to be able to catch before it gets to the headache. Because once you're in the headache, you're kind of already committed. You're stress committed. Okay. So even at the beginning, I want you to just stop and then take a breath in through the nose and then release through the mouth. And blow it longer than you think you can. Continue. And in again through the nose. And release. How do you feel?
I'm feeling better already.
See? No, seriously. I know you're not making it's as simple as that, but you have to stop. That's
where the hardest comes in.
So
reminding myself to do that.
Yes. And here's a couple of reasons why we don't stop. One is many of us, myself included, I'm a recovering perfectionist. And if I feel like I don't do something or say something about it, the world's going to come to an end. Right? Right?
I'm feeling it.
Yeah. It's called a recovering control freak. And the reality is that's not true. Okay? People may become unhappy with you. Okay? People may not like you as much anymore. But the world will continue, and my guess is you put everyone else's needs in front of your own. Okay, busted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did they say in case of emergency on the airplane?
Put the mask on myself before.
And what comes through the mask?
Oxygen.
And how do you get oxygen?
Breathing in.
Yeah. Have I made my case? Yeah. Okay. So.
Yep, you have.
All right. So from this point on, anytime there's a question or a request or a demand or an idea to do something of your own. Nobody has to tell you this, right? You have your own things. Oh my God, I've got to do this. Oh my God, I forgot to do this. Oh my goodness, I have to finish that. So a lot of your stress, my guess is self-generated. You don't even have a bunch of bosses standing over you saying, "Where is it?" Because you are your own worst boss.
That's it. That is it.
Okay. So, fire your boss.
I'm making notes here.
As you should. As you should. This part I'm going to let you do. Because that's the fundamental. Your stress will never change unless you change the stress. And where it's coming from. So my guess is 80% of your stress is self-generated. So you have to stop listening to your internal critic. Your internal critic is the one that keeps telling you that you should be doing this, should say that, shouldn't have said that. Do you have one? Do you have that voice? So we're going to name her. Who was critical when you were young?
My mother.
Oh,
God.
What's her name?
Yeah. Mary.
Okay. So now you have a voice. So mine's Rose. Guess what my mother's name was?
Rose.
Yes. If it's not one thing, it's your mother. And there's only two times when you don't have mother issues is when you're born and when you die. So.
Especially females.
Yes. Yes, and your only job is to do a little bit better than your mom did. You don't have to fix the whole lineage. So the first thing we're going to do is we're not going to kill off Mary in the head, because Mary has a wonderful, well-meaning role. Sometimes she's more mean than well, but she has a well-meaning role. And so always, I tell my life balance coaching clients to ask nicely. First, thank Mary. So repeat after me, Mary.
Mary.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For protecting and helping me be the best that I can be.
For protecting and helping me be the best that I could be.
Now I am an adult.
Now I am an adult.
And I am growing my balanced, centered Dana.
And I'm growing my balanced, centered Dana.
And so you can relax.
So you can relax.
Take a load off.
Take a load off.
Take a vacation.
Take a vacation.
Have a seat here in the passenger seat.
Have a seat here in the passenger seat.
I got this.
I got this.
Okay. Rinse and repeat that at least 10 times a day for the next 28 days. And when you do that, it comes with a couple of other things. One is it comes with the breath. So the first thing you do when you feel like, so let's say, we'll practicalize this technical word. So the voice, Mary says, you should have called that person yesterday. And you go, and as soon as you hear that, the first thing you do is in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you don't feel calm after that, do it again. And relax. Okay. And then you say, thank you very much. Right?
Thank you very much.
I got this.
I've got this.
Okay. So then the next step is, before I run off and do this, I want to look at the big picture. Okay. So honestly, you're an entrepreneur as well. So you're always going to be behind about 100 items. That's just the definition of an entrepreneur. We give up. We don't want to work 80 hours a week, so we work 100, right? So it really is going to be, this is going to be the hardest part for you. I'm going to warn you right now, is learning how to say, I'll get back to you on that. Can you say that? I'll get back to you on that.
I'll get back to you on that.
That's interesting.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, I can tell you're. Yeah. Again, because you're not comfortable. I can tell.
That's interesting. I'll get back to you on that.
And after probably another 80 of those, you'll actually sound like you mean it.
No, that's true. That's true because I am a problem solver.
Yes, you are.
And so that's my natural instinct is to solve the problem.
Yes. And you don't have to solve all the problems.
Right.
So you've got an overactive problem solver. Instead of an overactive imagination, you have an overactive problem solver. And this is where you get to relax. Okay.
Right.
I don't want you to take all the balls out of the air. I just want you to take some of the balls on the air. So let me guess.
Be more selective.
Yes. So my guess is, so how much time do you spend helping people who really don't take your advice? You tell them over and over and over and over again, and you're a broken record and nothing changes. Anybody in your life like that?
Yeah, I would say about 60%.
Oh, you've got so much time coming, honey. So I would like you to just don't, so you're not going cold turkey, 1 a week. So in 6 weeks from now, you're going to have 60% more time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then you're going to call me and say, oh, I have so much time. I'm so glad it's 60% because that's a huge, good chunk that you are going to reclaim.
Right.
Right?
And that's the hardest part for me.
Yes. So let me give you I'm going to finish with this. Here's the fertilizer on why you need to do this. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
When you solve their problems, they are stunted in their ability to solve the problems themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping. You're hurting them. Do you want to hurt them?
No, but when I say I solve their problems, they do it themselves. I'm just giving them guidance.
Are you getting paid for it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute then. If you're getting paid for it, that's a different thing. I'm talking about
Getting
people.
paid for it. They don't always follow it.
Okay, well, as long as they're paying for it, then that's not your problem. Because money energy is a good thing. You want to use the money energy to the other. So if that's 60% of you, are you getting paid for all 60%?
No. Probably half of it.
Okay, so 30%. So it's the 30% that you're going to have to let go of.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
So for them, you say, I'm going to get back to you on this
Okay.
when I'm finished with my paying clients. It might be next month.
Uh-huh.
Can you say that?
Uh-huh. When I'm finished with my paying clients.
I'm going to get back to you on this,
Get down. Yeah.
and it might be in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah. I'm writing it down.
Good. I'm so glad. So we are out of time, unfortunately, but I'm so glad that we got you on the line. I want you to let me know if this is helping, and we'll have you back on in a couple of months to see how you're doing. How's that?
Well, let's just say that the minute we got on the phone, I was in the middle of something, and I had forgotten about it. That's what happens sometimes, okay, about our phone call. So
Yep.
you called me.
Yep.
And you had me do a deep breath. That immediately centered me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how this is going to help you. Take care, Dana. Remember, it's all about balance. All right. Peace in and peace out.
Well, I hope you got something out of those stress relief tips. I tried to type them down. It's always weird watching myself, but hey, I've already said it, so I figured I'd use it as an interactive so that you could see that, you know, this is relatable. We're all under this BS belief system that there's so much to be stressed about. And, you know, one thing that a lot of people do is try to help people. And when we try to help people, sometimes they don't want to be helped. And then we get stressed out. They're not stressed out. So we do not need to take that on. And in fact, as the point I want to just emphasize, sometimes when we continue to help people solve their problems, they never learn how to solve the problems themselves. Now, the only caveat to that is if you're getting paid for it and it's part of your job, then absolutely. But I know for me, I used to get so frustrated when people would ask me for my advice and I'd give it to them and then they did whatever they wanted to anyways, and it would be a waste of my time, but I would still do it. So that was on me. So there's your stress relief tip for anyone who is a super problem solver or the go-to person. Let's manage your own stress, starting with the breath. And then saying things like, that's interesting, let me get back to you on that, instead of, I told you this last week and you still didn't follow the advice. And yeah, unnecessary. You can drop that rock. All right, we're going to go to break. And when we come back, we'll wrap things up and see if there's anyone. I know I have Dee for sure on here. If you have other stress relief tips that you would like to share with my studio audience, then please do, because I'll be right back here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Podchaser, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, TuneIn, Rumble, Tiki Live, and more. Woohoo, I made it through that one. I am Dr. Marissa, your host, producer of this show about hope and happiness. And since it's Stress Awareness Month, that's what this show has been about. I hope you have learned a little bit something. I asked Dee what she learned or what she knows to do for stress relief, and it's laugh more and watch what you are taking in through the media. And on that note, I'm just going to show you a little poster that I use all the time. When I see something on social media that is from a news place, the first thing I do is look at how balanced that news is going to be. So if you're looking at the chart, if you're not in your car driving, you can come back to this on my YouTube channel to look at. There's definitely places that are going to be extremely biased on whatever they're talking about. Like this morning, I went to BBC, I went to NPR News, I went to Reuters, that's in the middle, and they had all kinds of different stories about, what's going on, obviously, in Russia and Ukraine, what's going on with the subway shooter, what's going on with I closed it out. There was a third news, but they were central, world news. And then I go to Fox, and the headline one is bashing Biden because they don't like Biden and they don't like Democrats, and they're very on the right, as you can see here. So even though I've been on Fox and I'm grateful for that, I was highlighted as the Women's History Month spotlight, and I'm grateful for that. Fox, I can't say Fox is bad, but I say this because it's really important, as Dee Knoll pointed out, to really be careful about what you're running with in terms of the news. If you, do, before you repost, before you share, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it kind? Is it true? That's where the bias comes in. And is it necessary? So if you answer yes to all 3, then go ahead and post it. Wouldn't it be great if everybody on social media asked that question before they posted or asked that question before they shared? I think we might actually become humankind, capital K-I-N-D. So there's my little rant. And let's see, I think another comment came through. Let's see, we've got stress relief tip. Here's another one. Stop being your biggest critic, but be your biggest fan. I talked about that with Dana in Florida just now. Thank you, Dee, for highlighting that. This is absolutely one of the biggest, most influential causes of stress. Is raise your hand if you are your biggest critic. Raise your hand if you take 99 compliments and 1 insult and focus your attention on the insult and forget about all the good things that people have said and zoom in on that 1 insult and ruminate about it. Raise your hand if you say, I'm harder on myself than anybody else around me. Okay? If you raise your hand 3 times, that means you have the dis-ease of perfectionism. And the worst thing is you are so hard on yourself, and you're also hard on others. But the worst is nothing you ever do is going to be enough. No matter what you achieve, you're, oh yeah, okay, I got that done, but what about that? Or I finished this, but I didn't do that. Or, that's good. I've lost this much weight, but I've got this much more to go. So if this sounds like you, guess what? I have 2 words for you. Ready? Look at me. If you're looking at the camera, if you're looking on camera here, 2 words. Stop it. If you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to approve of you? So we have to stop being hard on ourselves. That's the number 1 stress relief tip there is. Because if you can soothe yourself out of the stress, then you can stop waking up screaming You can stop seeing only things that are broken. That's the trap with problem solvers. We are good at finding out what's wrong, but then we get stuck looking at what's wrong with you, what's wrong with me, what's wrong with the world, and that will give you more stress because there's plenty of things that are shown in the news or on the air or in your social media that will absolutely make your stress elevated. It absolutely does it every time. So that's why I haven't had a TV in like 7 years, because I didn't want to wake up with all that negative news. I still know what's going on. Believe me, someone will tell me what's going on. That is reality. But guess what? There's good things that are real too, which is what I try to show you on the show. You know, we're at an all-time low violence in the world. Did you know that? All-time low violence in the world, on the planet as human beings. But we would never know it based on what is on the news, right? If it bleeds, it leads. So if we're constantly being alerted, and it's really not the media's fault. Let me just put this down there, because a lot of people blame the media for bringing up all the bad news. Well, there's 400,000 pieces of news you could show, but because user ratings, we gravitate towards blood and gore and bad news and oh my God, we ask for it. So it's got to start with us saying, you know what? I'm going to choose to tune to Dr. Marissa's show because I know she's going to talk about things that are going to make me feel better and feel better about the world. And instead of saying what's wrong with people, what's right with people. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people. There's really great on my LinkedIn. I think it's Richard Padilla, who posts really nice things, nice stories. There's Good News Networks. There's a lot of us who are trying to balance out all of the bad news with good news. And I know I have great supporters. Dino, I have Ismail, who's come in from Riverside on my YouTube channel. Share posts of people who post positive, life-affirming, love-encouraging posts. Talk about it. Instead of picking up the phone, did you hear about, what happened to I don't even want to say the academies. I mean, that the whole slap. I mean, we keep that alive. We keep the worst alive if we keep talking about it. So please use the power of your choice. And I'm running out of time. This is Dr. Marissa. Thank you for joining me today. Go forth and multiply the stress relief that you are. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. We'll see you tomorrow. Go have the best day ever.